Hello and good evening. We are live now, and this is the first episode on my weekly webcast that I didn't give definitive names yet. Probably I will ask your help for this, and I hope so that you will enjoy it. And in this evening, we'll have a guest, John Paul Byrne. He is an entrepreneur, coach, and personal reinvention expert, and we will have a discussion alongside his subject, how to avoid the classic mistakes entrepreneurs make when setting goal. But for the moment, I want to say hello and put a line down in the chat from where you hanging now, where you are now. So we see that we have few people here. Just they watch us, but they don't want still to chat. No worries, we'll carry on. So John, good evening.
Good evening, Gary. Thank you very much for me on your first webcast this evening. Good evening, everybody. I think you're in the small minority of people who make the effort to join an entrepreneurial webcast on a Tuesday evening after you've had a nice 4 days of bank holiday. So it's great to be part of Gelu's webcast because he's doing some great stuff, and he asked me to come in and share some of my ideas and insights and kind of talk to you guys and share some valuable content. So what I'm going to be talking about this evening, what I'd like to you to get out of this webcast is to be able to take away some really valuable stuff, some really valuable content. And I hope I'm correct in asking that most of you perhaps are entrepreneurs or coaches or have your own website or maybe are running your own business. And there's value in what myself and Gelu are going to be talking about tonight. And I want to make sure that you can take some nuggets of information away and kind of apply them straight away to yourself or to your business and so on. So just as a show of hands, could we just ask people to pop in the chat box? If you already have a website, could you just say, yeah, I've got a website, or I've got a business, or I've got a blog, just to give us an idea of who's doing what at the minute, please. So I don't know if everybody can see where the group chat is. Gelu, where will people see the group chat? Will it be down
on the right-hand side? They can chat onto the box, onto the right-hand side. You have the chat console.
Yeah. So do you run a business, a blog, a personal brand, a website, and so on? We just get an idea of where people are at. So, so a topic that's quite close to my heart, really, in terms of some of the mindset work I do with people. As Gelu was saying, I'm a qualified NLP life coach, and I work with people outside of my business on mindset development, limiting beliefs, and ultimately personal reinvention. So a lot of the kind of work that I do is around helping people move from being stuck to unstuck. So part of that is people understanding, what do I need to do to get to a place of being unstuck and having the results that I want? So if you are a coach yourself, I'm not sure how many of you are. I know we've advertised the events to some other coaches and so on. So you may be familiar with a goal setting technique called SMART goals. Now, SMART goals is a very simplified, dumbed down way of setting a goal. So what I want to talk about this evening is why some parts of that don't really work for people like yourselves who are entrepreneurs or run their own business, the blog, the website, as we said, or perhaps you're coaching clients yourself. I just want to talk about some of the areas of that don't really work for me. And myself and Gelu are just going to bounce some ideas around about, a better way of looking at things. So we haven't had anybody pop anything in a box. So I'll have to assume you're all entrepreneurs who want to set goals then.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people can see the chat box or not, but we shall press on ahead. But if in the meantime you have any questions or comments, just carry on, pop them in the box, and then we can come along to them later. So the reason why I talk about goals, and you'll hear me refer to the word mission a lot as well in what I'm talking about, is that most of the people I speak to and coach, and every month I run an academy. It's a free meetup event we have, and it's very much about group coaching. And what I continually see people saying is, I tried to do this, but I would have done that, but. And what it seems to be is that most people know what a goal is. They have some idea about how to set it or plan it, but most people don't actually achieve it or don't actually take any action to move themselves from the place where they haven't got the results they want to the place where they do have the results they want. So why is it that current techniques for setting goals, and kids at school are getting taught how to set goals, why is it that those techniques are failing the vast majority of people? So one of the things I looked at and that I coach my clients on is in the SMART goal system. SMART, just to recap, stands for, if you're going to set a goal, the SMART system, which is what we call the worldwide standard. Would you agree with that, Gelu, in terms of it's a worldwide standard for goal setting?
I don't know if really it is a standard, or I didn't find and I didn't search for this for this kind of information up to now.
Yeah, sure.
But settings goal, I think, is a very important part when you do any type of businesses.
Yeah, sure, good stuff. So Gelu, did you find that in building your business that it worked better for you setting goals which you initially thought were unachievable? So to push yourself.
Yeah, I think that usually it's better to set your goals a bit higher than the expectation. In the case that you will not really reach the higher level of your goal, at least to have good results.
Yeah, fantastic. I think that's really the message that I wanted to get across to people. In the SMART goal system, we're taught to, if we're going to set a goal, so let's say your goal is you want to gain 10 new clients by the end of the month for your business. So you would set your goal so that it's specific. I specifically want 10 new clients by the end of the month. It's measurable, such as I can measure how many clients I've got as I progress towards the end of the month. It's achievable, realistic, and time-based. So one of the things I found that people fall apart on is the achievable bit. And I think Gelu's just hit the nail on the head there. By setting yourself almost a challenge of a goal that doesn't feel like it's achievable, it's going to basically motivate you to want to put in more effort. And I wrote about this on my blog post last week, in terms of goals that are achievable actually encourage poor discipline. So for instance, if you're going to set a goal at a very basic contrived level, if you say to yourself, I'm going to set a goal to mow the lawn by the end of the week, well, that's not a goal, is it? That's just a thing you have to do, that you can do, and it's certainly very achievable. But if you said to yourself, I'm going to set a goal to make £5,000 of additional business through my existing customer base, when my current monthly turnover, let's say, is half of that, that would seem like an unachievable goal to your business. So I just wanted to take that away. In terms of when you're setting goals, think about what you want. Make sure it's unachievable. And I mean, make sure it's unbloody achievable, yeah? Don't set yourself stuff that you think you can do. So the other part of when I talk to you about goal setting, and I actually hate the word goals, and those of you who know me will know that I try very hard not to use the word goal. And that is because I try and encourage the people I work with to understand their mission. Now in business, I talk about their mission rather than, you know, your life purpose, you know. So let's say if you're a monk, you might say, oh, my life purpose is to go and, you know, meditate for 40 years and, you know, figure out the meaning of life. But when it comes to your business and as an entrepreneur, what you are doing, your mission is why you are doing what you're doing. So let's say your business is about coaching other businesses on employee engagement. So, you know, is your mission, your passion about engaging employees, creating happier workplaces for those employees? Okay. So when you're setting yourself, you know, let's say your business is about that employee engagement and you're really passionate about it. You've had a lot of first experience in terms of not being engaged as an employee, and you want to create happy workplaces. That's your mission. So when you set yourself a goal, you know, and you say, well, I need to get an extra 10 customers by the end of the month, or I need to go and build 2 new websites. You need to be able to track back and say to yourself, is what I'm doing related to a mission? Is this thing that I need to achieve? Is it really aligned with what I'm doing as a business, what I'm doing as a person? And that comes back to when you're setting yourself, you know, you say to yourself, I want to gain 10 new clients by the end of the month. I would say to people, don't time base what you're doing, because if your business is a mission, you know, it's about helping employees be happier in the workplace, then that's something you're doing every single day. That's not going to end. But if you say to yourself, well, the end of the month, I will have 10 new customers, by the time it gets to the end of the month, things will have changed. You may have only got 5 customers. And what traditional goal setting methods will do is they will have you beating yourself up at the end of the month because you only got 5 new customers. But really, I want you to take away this evening to say to yourself, what my business and what I'm doing is part of an overall mission. Yes, I am going to set myself seemingly unachievable things, you know, that I want to get for my business. But if I only get halfway there, I'm going to recognize the progress I've made, the value in what I've learned from those things. And rather than saying, oh, I got to the end of the month, I only got 3 customers, game over, I'm rubbish, I can't follow any goals, you know. So I hope there's some useful ideas. They're ideas that I share with people time and time again about getting the results that they want and being at peace with what they are doing for themselves and in their business. So, I mean, Gelu, can you relate to that in terms of, you know, building your business? And, you know, did you find when you started out that there's a kind of constant anxiety for wanting to achieve a certain status or a certain circumstance?
Yes and no. Because I think just a moment, we have to mute yourself, please.
Sure, give me one moment.
So when you have a goal, in my opinion, first you have to make it in small pieces, in small blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to take each activity from these small pieces and to do one at a time. And also, how my mentor says, my mentor Alex Mandosian, do first what is important, and after that, do what it is urgent. Because at the end of the month, you will see that if you will do just what it is urgent, you'll see that your goals it's not achieved.
There we go. I'll unmute myself, shall I?
Yeah.
Rather than miming. Yeah, that's really good. I think you've hit the nail on the head there about doing, you know, what's important, what's not urgent, because what you're really saying is what's important is what aligns with your business mission, your personal mission in terms of what you're doing, I mean, hopefully the people who are on this webinar aren't doing what they're doing purely for the purposes of making money. You know, making money doesn't make people happy. It's what the money can do for the people and the growth that it can bring you as you're trying to achieve it. That's the real value. So I hope your purpose is much wider. You know, you guys are on this webinar. I hope your purpose is much wider than just saying, I want to create more income for myself. You know, what is it that is going to enable you to do for other people? You know, how does that fit into your mission in terms of what you're going to do for the people? So as an example, my mission is kind of twofold. I'm really passionate about inspiring people to create world-class content for their businesses. And that's about giving value back to their customers, their potential customers up front. So it's a bit like what we're doing now. We're saying, I've got a mission to give you guys information. I enjoy doing that. So everything I do is about how can I make that better? So if you apply that to your business and you think everything you do, how can I make what I'm doing part of my mission? Okay. And then you'll start to see, as Gelu says, the important things will suddenly, start to appear rather than just doing the stuff that's keeping you busy all the time, So what else? One other thing I just wanted to touch on, Gelu, for people is around the subject of unitasking. And it's kind of a phrase I really only came across explained this way when I was working with Andy Harrington a few weeks ago at his Speakers Academy down in London. And he used the word unitasking.
Yeah.
And
you cannot do at all multitasking. This is a lie.
Yeah.
You can have many windows opened in your computer, but certainly you cannot do multitasking.
Absolutely, and especially men, we can only do one thing at once, can't we?
Yeah, true.
So what I wanted to just talk to you guys about is the subject of unitasking. So in your business, you can only work on one thing at a time. But what does that mean at a time? Okay. So let's say, for instance, you are building your website, you are trying to gain new business from your clients, and you're trying to diversify your business and maybe generate business from other areas that you've not tried before. So if you go to a coach, a business coach, they may well say to you, Mary, okay, your website, focus on that solely for 2 weeks and get it done. Yeah. Now, stuff is going to change in those 2 weeks. Things are going to be harder than maybe you might have expected. So one of the things I say to people is, don't be afraid to stop what you're doing in your business and go and work on some other area of it. So if you're working on your website and you've been written 5 pages of 2 blog posts and you're lacking inspiration and it feels like it's a chore, stop doing it. Go and do some other part of your business, some other part of your mission. Leave that behind. Trust yourself to go back to to creating the website or the thing that you're working on. So when we talk about unitasking, people say, do one thing until you're successful, do one thing, make that work for you at the right level. Yes, of course, you want to make sure you finish your website and you write your content that you want and so on. But make sure when you're thinking about unitasking that you're not just saying to yourself, oh, I absolutely have to do this until it's finished. Because sometimes it's good to walk away from something and come back to it with a fresh pair of eyes. You could have learned something different by working on other part of your business. That's something that I do all the time. I might be working on my book. I might write 7 chapters across 10 days. And then I go, I just can't do any more on it now. I'm going to move away and maybe work on the marketing side of my business. So take that away, make unitasking work for you and trust yourself to go back and work on the areas of your business, that you're going to step aside from for a while till you get that inspiration. So Gelu, how do you reward yourself? This is a question for you. How do you reward yourself for, the successes that you've had? How do you take time out to recognize what you've achieved? You've written a book.
Of course, I go outside with my boy, with the family, or I buy something. It depends how big the goal that
Retail therapy, yeah.
So this is a very good method to have progress. Because us as human beings, we are built like this to be rewarded in somehow.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people that are being coached, they're kind of being told, if you haven't, achieved the goal that we set, then you need to go back and, be harder on yourself and say, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I do it? Why didn't I do it? And, people say, oh, you're not taking a personal responsibility because you didn't achieve the 100 customers by the end of the month. But, as Gelu said there, you need to take the time out and say, yes, I set something unachievable, and that was to write a book in a week. Yeah, I wrote half the book in a week, but I'm going to go and reward myself for the progress that I've made in doing that. Because if you have a system that's based on self-reward, everything is progress. There's no backward steps. Everything is progress. Everything you're doing in your business is progress. So take Gelu's advice away. Go shopping when you do something good on your business, and make sure you take time out to recognize how well you've done. So, do you guys have any comments that you'd like to
questions
share?
now? You can text the questions onto the chat, just to push the little white button onto the left.
Again, I see lots of questions here in the control panel, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
I hadn't seen these. Let's have a quick look down. So Jason's from Canada, a speaker and life and business mentor. I help companies develop international reach to North America. Fantastic, Jason. It's great to have you here. I hope there is some really useful stuff from what we're talking about. And Kelly, no goal setting seems to work. They seem to fail in set goals, or at least have done in the past. Jackie says, great to be with you, gentlemen. Very welcome, Jackie. Thank you for that. And Baz says, I'm in the process of setting up my property sourcing business and have an Amazon business on the side, which I'm trying to build. Lack of funds is preventing me from growing. So I would say to you, Baz, that in terms of looking at what goals you're setting, is there any other options available in terms of lack of funds? What could you set yourself that seems unachievable? Perhaps that isn't just maybe hunting out somebody else to maybe fund an Amazon product or fund the, maybe a JV in a property joint venture and so on. So yeah, takeaway for you is think outside the box and set some different options. Okay, what is it that you could offer somebody through, say, your property sourcing business that would make them want to JV with you, and set yourself an unachievable goal around that. Maybe your unachievable goal is to give away some awesome information that you have, just like we're doing here now. Want to get 5 people in a room for free, tell them all about what you do, tell them all the amazing stuff that you know about how to find, a below market value property, and go for it. Make some contacts, and let your experience and your knowledge bring people to you, rather than you having to go out and find people who you can partner with. So make your unachievable goal maybe for 2 weeks' time to just set up a meetup group, get a load of property people there for free, give them a cup of tea, do that kind of thing. So I hope that gives you some ideas there. Okay.
It's important.
Yeah. What do you reckon? How are we doing?
Yeah, I wanted to say that it's important with which people you're networking in to do your businesses. Because if you do it in your own, it is all right. But when you have a network of high valuable people, your life it's more easier.
Yeah, especially in having done property joint ventures myself, it can be, if you're not rolling around millionaires, it can be difficult to attract them. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, just as a quick bit of help there to Baz and the other people maybe that are trying to set goals in terms of networking with people in the business. What's one takeaway you could give them, Gelu, in terms of how they could attract new clients for free? I know you do a lot of stuff online, don't you, as well?
First, from my point of view, you have to give them a lot of value. And before you ask for anything, help them with something. Any people on any level, they need some help, and this help can come from you. First give, and after that ask for something, ask for help for these people.
I think the people as well, say, who are starting out in the business and actually say, do you know what, I'm starting out as a speaker or a coach. I know what my message is. I know what my business is, but I'm having struggle getting new clients, or understanding new markets, or getting online properly, whatever it is. I think, as Gelu says, if you're just honest with people, nobody's got it all figured out. Just honest with people, tell people where you're at. Myself and Gelu met at a speaking event. We've gone very well, and we're supporting each other in our business. We don't know it all. Nobody knows it all. But what we're doing is sharing what we do know, and you can do the same in your business as well. Okay, Gelu, so I'm going to go and talk about...
Yeah, as well, it's better to turn your weakness in the power things. For example, I don't know if you are okay with my funny East European accent, but believe me, for me, this not was a problem to do the business in proper way.
Yeah. Okay, so again, what I'm going to ask people to do is, if you have a blog, and I just want to make sure we've not missed any. Yeah. So Jason says there, service over selling, become the trusted authority. Thank you, Jason, for that. Yeah, great words. I've been to a few, but I need to go to more regular and know exactly what I need from potential JV. Yeah, Baz, fantastic. And feel free to ping me afterwards if you want a bit of my insight onto property JVs. Baz from Jason, have you visited all the real estate networking events? Yeah, so I don't think at the minute we're missing anything. So could you just ping in chat if you have a blog post, or if you have even written a blog post, even if it's for somebody else, or maybe you've written a blogging post on a blog post on another platform, maybe like WordPress or Quora or something like that. So just want to get a feel for who is writing their message online at the moment. Okay, so right. Okay, so yeah, I'll check back in the chat in a moment and see who's doing what. But what I wanted to give you, valuable content. We've talked about goals, some of the things you can do in your business, different ways of thinking about achieving what you want. So we'll park that there. You've got some of those, and I hope you've written some of the stuff down. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you is around creating what I call world-class content online for your business. And I just want to give you a little bit of an introduction to what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to be sharing with you a really simple technique for writing a blog post that's about 1,000 words, yeah, and that is really going to engage with your audience. Okay, now that's something you'll be able to go away and do tomorrow using the techniques that I'm going to share with you. But before we do that, I just want to talk to you about why you want to create world-class content. Now, we've kind of touched on it briefly a little bit with the conversations we've been having with Baz and Jason and Gelu in terms of offering value up front. But I want to kind of clear up a few perceptions that people have about websites and blogging. And I'm probably known for saying stuff that is at a right angle to what everybody else thinks, okay? And the right angle is that your website is largely dead. Websites are largely dead as mediums of sharing your message. What I mean when I say that is your website is becoming, anybody's website is becoming a back-end store to validate that you are who you say you are. But I almost guarantee you that if you are looking for one of me, you will not be searching in Google for one of me anymore. You will be interacting with me through the messages and the content that I share through social platforms. Now, whether you like it or not, everything about you is known online. Facebook knows who you are, it knows what color shoes you like, and it is going to shove stuff in front of your face when you're online, okay, for you to consume. So the entry point for you consuming information online is through these social platforms predominantly. You know, you spend, the average person, I think Gelu, you might correct me on the statistic. I think I saw the other day that on average, there are 1 billion people a day on Facebook, on average, viewing it 7 times a day. Did you catch that statistic?
Yes. Onto the Andy seminar, I've seen the statistics.
Yeah. So I mean, you just think about that. 7 times a day, people are consuming information. So, you know, these people are not going to Google and searching for a specific solution. And what Google is, Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and so on, those platforms are doing, and Facebook is very good at it, is they are pushing content to people that they know is of interest to them. So for instance, typical example is if you have a Facebook page, and if you do, you've probably been wondering, what are 10 likes going to achieve for my business? Well, the 10 likes, let's say it's just 10, is going, you know, if you have, let's just take a fictitious name. Let's suppose you got a guy called Harry who's liked your page, yeah? And Harry is interested, you know, your page is about football boots, okay? And so Harry's interested in football boots. He's liked your page about football boots. Because he's liked your page, his friends, or friends of friends in some cases, will see that he's liked your business page. Now, some of his friends who Facebook sees are in a market, or have done searches or visited sites, or have some demographics that makes them interested in the thing that Harry said he liked, Facebook are going to shove your page in front of them. That's really what a page like is, and that's how it needs to be used. So if you are thinking, when I talk about blogging, that, and I've seen people do this, and I've coached people out of it, and they say, I want to start a business, I need a website, and I need a blog. And I say to them, why do you need a blog? What are you going to do with it? Well, I'm going to write some content and people are going to come to my site and read it. And that's the point when I say, no, they are not. Okay. So what your blog post needs to do when I'm talking about a blog post is I'm talking about a blog post on your website that is a store, simply a store. Yeah. Like a farmyard barn. It's a store where you can keep your message. Okay, people are not going to find your message there unless you're very famous. Yeah, unless you're Obama and you got your own blog or something. It's unlikely people are going to go to johnpaulbyrne.com out of the blue. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but we have to start somewhere. We have to write content, and we have to start somewhere to put it. The whole promotion of that content and getting into the platforms is an essay in itself, and that's predominantly what my business model and my passion is about helping people with. But I just wanted to take away today, as an entrepreneur, a coach, a speaker, a business owner, if you are not creating content that gives clear, awesome takeaway value from somebody spending 3-4 minutes, no more, reading your stuff, forget it. It's not going to work. People are not going to engage with you. Okay?
Absolutely true.
Yeah. So you've got to find a way of creating content that the people who read it stick with you and read it to the end. Now, why do I want them to read it to the end? Because I want them to build up a silent relationship with you. Yeah, they have engaged with you probably through a social platform. Let's say you shared your blog post on Facebook at a very basic level. Okay, they have come to and read your message, your communication, because they feel it's relevant to them. So I'm going to teach you, and I think you should get your pens out for this. I'm going to teach you some really simple techniques for how to get your reader to engage with you in what they're reading. So you want an engaged reader, somebody who potentially may go and sign up your mailing list, somebody who may follow your blog, somebody who Facebook says, oh, you've already read one piece of their content once, I'm going to shove more content your way. Somebody who's going to share your blog post, like it, and so on. Okay. So first thing, there's kind of 3 key areas that I talk about in terms of writing an engaging blog post. So before I crack into those 3 areas, has anybody got any questions? So Jason says, I don't blog and use Facebook, LinkedIn to gauge what people are consuming. Says I'm online, good stuff. Okay, yeah, okay, excellent. So for you guys, really, this could be very useful, because if you're not already creating a message about your business, and I'm probably going to be a bit rude here, and I'm guessing you're just sharing snippets of what you do online. You're probably saying, I JV with people, I source property, which is fantastic. Jason, maybe you're saying something like 2 free coaching sessions, or would you like me to be your speaker, or I'm going to speak at this event. So think about what value you're going to give them. So get your pens out, because this is how you can give people value. Okay, so I want to talk to you about part 1 is authentic positioning. Okay, what do I mean by authentic? Authentic is you. In the information age that we're in now, people are not buying corporate brands. Social media for corporate brands, I don't think works anymore. How often do you see in your feed Nike trainers? How often do you see corporate adverts in your news feed? Certainly for me, I see very few of them. Maybe that's because of how Facebook is targeting me in terms of an entrepreneur, business owner, coach, very individual personal brands, expert authorities. But I really strongly believe that corporate advertising, corporate social media is a very, very hard game to play today. Okay, so the authentic part of you has to come through straight away in your message, in your blog post. Okay, so we're talking about 1,000-word blog post here, which takes at about 3 words a second somebody can read. It's going to take about 4 or 5 minutes of that to read a few images and maybe thinking about some stuff, whatever. Okay, so really simple. You want to position the reader. It's a bit like what I did at the start. So I'm just going to take a contrived example. Let's suppose you're a dog trainer. Okay, this is just a simple one we can follow. So I'm a dog trainer, and you've on Facebook, and you've seen a post that I've shared called "I can teach a dog to sit in 5 seconds." Okay, now if you've got a Labrador who's very unruly, that might be of interest to you. So you're going to click, and you're going to come, and you're going to suddenly at that point enter my website on my blog post. Okay, at that point you've no idea who I am, and you probably don't even care, but that's fine. Okay, so to engage your reader, the first thing you have to say is ask them who they are. So for instance, your opening paragraph is not, "Hi, my name's John. I have 3 dogs. One of them's black, one of them's gray, one of them's silver." Nobody cares about that. What you want to say is, are you a pet owner? Are you an aspiring dog trainer who is currently struggling to control their family pet, or find you're having a really embarrassing relationship when you take your dog around your friend's house because he just won't sit? Okay, so position you as an authentic person that is talking to your audience. Yeah, you're positioning the reader. So authentic positioning, position the reader first. They need to know that they're in the right place. It doesn't matter if they're not interested in dog training. They're going to click off your blog. But if they are interested in teaching the dog how to sit in 5 seconds, you blooming well want them to read the rest of your blog post, because you've got far more awesome content to offer them beyond this one blog post. You want these people to sign up to your mailing list because you want them to give them maybe your next training course, or come to your event, or you want to share your online dog training academy with them, or you want to sell them your dog shampoo, whatever it is. You see the model here. Yeah, you need to give away the value. So authentic positioning, position the reader, make sure they're in the right place. Go through who you think the reader is. Just ask them. So they go, "Oh yeah, I'm a dog trainer. Oh yeah, I'm a homeowner. I'm a pet owner, rather." And you don't have to own your own house to have a pet. That's fine. So the next thing is position yourself. Okay, position yourself, and just do that by summarizing the solution. Now, I'm not talking about position yourself by go through a CV. Okay, so if I'd written this blog post about dogs, I would say something like, I know from experience that the foundation to a great relationship with your dog is teaching them how to sit first. I've owned dogs for the last 10 years and I've had some particularly challenging animals, but as soon as I've been able to do this, it's really paved the way for further training with the dog. So straight away, you've summarized who you are. They know you have a dog. That's kind of essential, right? They need to know that you at least know what you're talking about. Yeah. Do you have a dog, Gelu, by the way?
Not yet.
All right. You can't read my blog then. Sorry. So you're just checking in with the person. You're saying, you know, I'm authentic as an individual, and here's a summary of the solution that I'm going to offer you. I'm going to offer you a solution. So the reader goes, yeah, I'm this kind of person. I know I should be reading this blog post. This guy called John, he's written a blog post on how to teach a dog to sit. He's taught a few dogs to sit. His solution is 5-second solution. Bam, they're engaged. Now they want your solution, okay? Now they're going to stay. So how are you going to keep them staying, okay?
Yes,
so
Alex asked this work for cats.
Well,
yeah, a good one.
Fantastic. Well, my blog post tomorrow will cover cats, yes. Yeah, very good.
What stuff John says now is very important, because everything that is in social media platforms, if you interact with people, you have to direct them to your hub, and your hub is your blog. Doesn't matter if you write or you do videos or anything else, but you must to direct them somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, did you find when you wrote your book as well, Gelu, that you kind of had to do that up front, even in the message inside the book?
I don't know. I didn't think literally that this will be the way that I will promote it. Just I give onto the book everything from me.
Yeah.
I hope that this will help other people to do some steps and will be helpful for them.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So the second part, and I think we touched on this. So you've got your notes, authentic. So you're writing your awesome blog post, 1,000 words. Part 1, authentic positioning, position yourself, position the reader. So part 2 is to give away 2 pieces of clear, valuable content, just like I'm doing now, okay? And that is solution-based approach, not sales. And Jason, I know you've said that, something similar.
Yeah.
In the product, you know, service over selling, which is the nail on the head. You know, so for people who aren't familiar with that technique, and I think it's, you know, we're conditioned as humans to understand that, you know, when we say business, you know, what's at the end of that equation for everybody? It's sell. Yeah. But until, you know, in the information age and the era that we're in, at the end of business should be give away value first. Okay. So in your blog post, you've engaged the reader. You need to get to the point where you give them value. Okay. They are not going to read even more than 100 words of waffle. Okay. So in your first piece of value, let's suppose you had 2 points in your blog post, okay, that you're going to give away. Point number 1 is how to, the right tonality to use with your pets. Opening paragraph. In order to help your dog to sit in 5 seconds, it's really important they have exactly the right tonality when you talk to your pet. There are 2 types of tonality, paused and firm, or very deep voice and speaking slowly. I've just made those up, but you see what I mean? I've gone straight into relating the problem, the solution, and giving a clear, concise bit of information. Now, there's going to be a couple of paragraphs on tonality, but the reader is straight into the solution. They're going to go away and they're going to use that, and they're going to go, wow, this guy's really good. So when I, you know, think about the next step, and I want to be able to teach my dog how to walk at heel, they're going to come back to you, aren't they? They're going to go, oh, yeah, that was really good what that guy did. Maybe I should look at his YouTube channel and so on. So give away great solutions. And the last thing, and this people are not going to want to hear this, okay? But people are obsessed with Google rankings, and everybody goes, "It's my rankings. I need to, you know, people into Google need to hit my website." But if you're an expert authority in your niche, you're a coach, you're an entrepreneur, honestly, how many people have ever come to your business through finding you on Google? Okay, most of your people, if you're following what I'm saying, should be coming to you through your engagement with your content. Okay, so the last part of writing your blog post is to what was the phrase I used? The phrase I used was SEO, which is search engine optimization, kills passion. You know, if somebody says to write a blog post, you know, if you go on to, I mean, you've probably heard this, Gelu, haven't you? Somebody said, write content, find your keywords, you know, lay out the article. It's a killer, isn't it?
That was a long time ago that this was the goal, but now not anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people are still kind of stuck in the old way of thinking. Because so much information out there, people who want, you know, businesses who want you to pay the money to rank your content. You know, we get stuck in this cycle and we go, oh, I need to write some content. What keywords is some random going to be searching for? I need to make sure I use the keyword every 5 paragraphs. Forget it. If you write with passion about your subject, it's relevant content. If you're trying to create content to rank, it's not got passion and it won't be of value to people. So write with passion first, write about what you know, give away the good value, okay? And I would then say to you at that point, just think about, keep your SEO as simple as, what would somebody who needs this solution search for? And it's going to start with probably 2 types of titles. And these are the only 2 you never need to worry about. That is, how do I, right? So how do I teach my dog to sit? Or how to teach my dog to sit. Yeah, it's the how to title types. And the other one is 3 ways, 5 ways, 7 ways to. And you notice that both of those titles are solution based. Okay? Yeah. So just optimize your title based on that. Now, if in your industry, you know, dog sitting is not a phrase that is used in your industry and there's some other word that I don't know about, then use that word because you know that's how people refer to it. Okay, so that's about as far as I'd go with SEO. Obviously, proofread the article. I have my own proofreader who does this stuff. She's very good because you won't believe the amount of extra commas I can add into stuff. So yeah, just get somebody else to second proofread your content because you want it to be world class. You want it to look world class as well. Okay, so yeah, so engaging blog posts, authentic positioning for yourself and the reader. Give away awesome, valuable content, at least 2 pieces. No padding, no waffle, no bullshit, okay? Just straight into it. And the third thing is just write with passion, keep your SEO simple, optimize the title, and the rest will follow. Obviously, I haven't covered anything to do with what do you actually do with that content to get it out there. And, you know, I'm happy to talk about that maybe, Gelu, in a future webcast we can do together and so on. But I just want to give the business people on here the chance to think differently about the content that they're writing. Okay, I've got loads of other ways about how to become creative, and you know, most people's problem is they draw a blank and they go, how could I possibly talk any more about my woolly mitten gloves that my business sells? You know, there are ways of coming up with awesome content about woolly mitten gloves and the market around it, you know. But for now, just with the ideas of the content that you've got, just take away those nuggets. So guys, is this stuff useful? Give me some feedback. Be honest.
It was useful.
Okay, so Alwyn, I apologize for not pronouncing the name correctly, Aylwyn. That's an interesting point to write in a natural way rather than SEO focused. Yeah, I think that's a good word for me to use as well, writing naturally, writing with passion. Thank you for that. And Alex said, does it work for cats? I will still have to check that one. Okay, cool. So Gelu, is there anything you wanted to talk about or ask me before I think next I might talk about?
Yeah, and it's as Aaron says that it's an interesting point of view. Yes, it is, because you interact with people not with the machines. Google is a machine, yeah, can make some ranking, but to be on top first, you must to be authentic.
Yeah, that's
very clear for me.
Kelly's just said something similar in Gelu as well, in that natural writing is much more appealing to a reader as it allows you to really hear the reader's voice. And I think that she kind of hit the nail on the head there in terms of when I talked about authentic positioning. You know, people are engaging with you as a person and the value that you can add, because people buy from people. We all know this. And yet when we create our websites and our businesses, we try and appear bigger than we are. We try and appear like a 5-person company. Forget it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you have an office or not. They just care about what the solutions you can give them are. So give them solutions and you'll have an office and all that other stuff that you think you need, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we've got about 9 minutes left, I think, haven't we?
Yeah, not really on the time. We have to finish what we have to give to the attendee. If you want to say a few words about the personal power video, will be great.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, I'll just take 5 minutes talking about the video template. It's very similar to the blogging idea, and then I'll let you close off the webcast and take any further questions. So I think what I'd like you to do, guys, is most people, and this has been myself included, it's taken a real personal sort of stepping aside of myself to go and create YouTube videos, because YouTube video and video itself, you know, you might just be putting your videos on Facebook, you know, it's not just YouTube anymore, is it? Videos are a really great way for somebody to really get a personal connection with you. Yeah, like you guys are doing now on this webcast. Okay, I could have written 10 blog posts, but spending 10 minutes with me here, you know, I'll either resonate with you or I won't. You know, you've either clicked off the webcast and gone, this guy is not for me. I don't like his ideas, his insights, or, you know, yeah, I do. And this is somebody who maybe has solutions for what I need. So video is a great way of passing a lot of boundaries very quickly, but it has to be done correctly. So I have a whole video template that I use, and I'm happy to share with you the link for that after this webcast. But I just wanted to, the structure is very similar to a blog post, but I'm just going to talk about the end of the video, because you can read the blog post about the whole, how to structure the rest of the video. I'm just going to talk about the end of it. And it's something that that is essential for understanding why you're creating the content. Okay, so when I started off blogging, and I was coaching one person a couple of years back, and I was telling them to create all this amazing content, but I had to put in a lot of effort to really drive value from that content for me, you know, for that person as the business. Okay, so you may be thinking, "That's brilliant, so I'm going to go on YouTube and I'm going to, you know, create a video about how to source properties, or a video about how to remove limiting beliefs. How is that going to help my business? How is it going to generate revenue other than taking up lots of my time to do it?" Okay, so take away these 2 points. There's a takeaway and a takeaway here. Okay, at the end of your video, yeah, there must be a takeaway. Okay, there must be a summary. And again, if this was the dog training video, it would go something like this. So now that you've seen the value of teaching your dog to sit in 5 minutes, you know that today you can go out and have a great relationship with your dog. Okay, and you know it's the foundation of great training. If you'd like to find out more about how I teach dogs how to walk by heel when you're taking them to the park, go to my website using the link below, give me a name and email, and I'll send you my free 3-part video series on exactly that. Really look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again for watching the video, and have a great fun with your pet. So what you're doing at the end of your video is you're summarizing top level the solution you've given them and the benefit of where they are now. They're in a good place. They're about to train the dog to sit in 5 seconds. They have the knowledge. All they've got to do is implement it now. and you're now giving them, you're saying to them, do you know what, you guys are so great, I'm going to go and give you even more awesome content for just taking a small piece of action. That small piece of action gets them into your sales funnel. Okay, now I'm not going to rabbit on about Infusionsoft or platforms and how to manage your sales funnel, but the first step is you're creating awesome content because you want people to come to your sales funnel. So just bear that in mind. You're not just pumping out content for kicks. You are giving value, but there is a purpose for your business. Okay, so I think, Gelu, I shall draw a line there under my hopefully pearls of wisdom in terms of goal setting, blogging, and a little bit about videos and so on.
Yeah, you can put your website there. Maybe the people want to know more about you, and I hope so that you guys enjoy this hangout, and I will try to keep onto the level as high as possible. And I don't know from which country now you hang out, but this will be a weekly webcast, and I believe that building this community and adding value will be a good network in the future. So now I will. You have finished, John, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, just to say, thanks for having me on talk this evening. It's been great. I really hope that you guys have taken away some good stuff. Even if it's only one or two things, it's been worth it. You're spending your time doing this. Sign up for Gelu's webcast. I think what I like about Gelu is he's giving great value up front. He's not trying to sell to you. This is a guy who's building his brand, and it's helping everybody here. It's like a community. I will pop in on the chat my my web address at the end.
Yes.
And you guys,
on this time,
yeah, you guys.
This time I want to ask which hour it's proper for you. I don't know if you are from UK or from another country. You can put down onto the poll which hour do you think that it's proper for this webcast to be broadcasted.
Yeah, super. Good idea. Good idea, Gelu. Brilliant. So following awesome. Jason, video such as expert. Yeah, thanks guys for the comments and the appreciation as well. Fantastic. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I hope so that you enjoy this, and I will wait you onto another episodes with great stuff. Now, as I promised, I will give you my book that will be launched onto the big event on Canada, on Toronto. This is the link with the event alongside of Bob Proctor and John DeMartini, and I will give you the direct download link. Please don't share this with nobody. But I think I will deactivate it after this hangout. So you can download my book from here. I'm sorry for the people that they watch this webcast through the YouTube or Facebook, because I shared a link there. I hope so that next time you will come in and we can share a great idea, and we can find useful things for us. Oh, John, anything else?
Brilliant. I think I just echo what you said there, Gelu. So it's been an absolute pleasure talking on your webcast this evening. I've enjoyed myself. I hope you guys have too. I mean, the last thought is, go and play full out, guys running your business. Go and make your life a masterpiece and give back to others. Thanks, Gelu.
Thank you very much, and bye-bye. See you next time.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.